We love Star Wars Rebels, and you should too. Today on Know Your Universe, we're going to be taking a closer look at Kanan Jarrus, the co-captain of the Ghost and the Rebels' own senior Jedi. Now, like a lot of Star Wars characters, Kanan's history is told to us not just in the show, but in the greater expanded universe. For this video, we're going to mostly be looking at the Greg Weisman-penned comic series Kanan the Last Padawan, as well as the novel Star Wars: A New Dawn by John Jackson Miller. The first important thing of note about Kanan is his name, and the fact that, well, it's fake. You see, he was born Caleb Dume on the planet Coruscant. At a young age, he was integrated into the Jedi Order, and as a youngling, he caught the eye of Deepa Billaba, who would become his Jedi Master. At the tender age of 13, the now Padawan Caleb would join his master on a number of missions during the Clone Wars. By the time he was 14, Caleb would take part in the Battle of Kalar, in which Billaba led the Republic forces to victory during the last days of the Clone Wars against the Confederacy of Independent Systems under General Cleve. That night, the Jedi celebrated with their clone comrades, but none of them could possibly know the horrible tragedy that would soon befall them. For you see, it was that very same night Supreme Chancellor Sheev Palpatine issued Order 66, which branded all Jedi as traitors to the state and called for their immediate execution. The clones brutally turned on Master Billaba, and young Caleb just barely managed to escape a gruesome death at the hands of his former friends. It was while on the run Kanan managed to come into contact with alien scoundrel Janice Casimir, who takes pity on the poor boy. They eventually form an uneasy alliance before eventually becoming good friends. Janice takes Caleb under his wing and teaches him the way of the smuggler. It's at this point Kanan begins to put away his lightsaber out of fear of being discovered by the clone commanders Gray and Styles, who continued to hunt him. Eventually the clones would catch up to the pair of smugglers, and Caleb would be forced to abandon his friend, but not before reclaiming his lightsaber and holocron left to him by his master. It's at this point in history Caleb takes to calling himself Kanan. Kanan would drift throughout the universe, feeling the sting of losing two mentors before eventually taking work as a freighter pilot carrying important materials for the Moonglow Polychemical Corporation between Gorse and its moon. It was around this time that Kanan had his first fateful meeting with Hera Syndulla when they both got involved in a street fight with some gangsters. Hera was in the process of investigating Count Vidian, and Kanan would end up getting roped into all her doings. During an attack by the Ultimatum, an Imperial warship, Kanan would save Hera through the use of his force powers, revealing himself to her as a Jedi. After his first real taste of rebellion, Kanan and Hera would join forces yet again, this time co-captaining the starship the Ghost. From there, they would assemble a motley crew of like-minded rebels, including Mandalorian Sabine and the monstrous Zeb. Things would take a major turn, however, when Kanan found new purpose in his life after discovering the Force-sensitive Ezra Bridger. Kanan struggles with teaching the young man, mainly because his own lessons were cut so short as a Padawan. Just recently, at the time of this recording, we also discovered that Kanan still harbors a major resentment for clones after what happened to him and his master. In battle, Kanan prefers to use the third form of lightsaber combat taught to him by his master, and all the years as a smuggler has made him a pretty damn good shot with a blaster as well. Kanan and Hera take up roles more or less akin to mother and father to the crew of the Ghost, and because of this, they often clash on important subjects like group direction. Hera wanting to take a more direct and military approach to fighting the Empire, while Kanan, still feeling the scars of the last war he was involved in, wants to stay small, using guerrilla tactics to fight the Empire. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Kanan. As always, I hope you liked the video. By all means, feel free to check out some of the other great videos we have on offer here at the channel. And if you want to know a little bit more about Rebels, you can check my weekly reviews out over at Cape Joel. Thanks for watching, everybody.